Hello, welcome back to my channel. Congratulations for sticking to it and getting to this last step of the 5 steps process. This last step in buying your cash flow property successfully is manage right. It is an equally important step like the other 4 steps that you have learned previously, because managing your investment property will make or break your investment. This video would help you to navigate managing your property to minimize your expenses and to maximize your return on investment for years to come. If you are new here, this channel is about investing in cash flow real estate, achieve your financial independence, and making an impact. My name is Korianne, and I am a full-time real estate investor since 2001. I have achieved my financial independence when I was 35 through cash flow rental properties after consistently investing in cash flow property over the 8 years. 2 typical ways that you can manage your cash flow rental property. You can choose to manage it yourself, or you can have it to be managed by a professional property manager. So the first way is to manage your property yourself. If you choose to manage your property yourself, here are some skills you would need to acquire in order to be effective in managing rental properties. The first skill is marketing. How to market your property so you can attract your target tenants and have your property pre-leased to minimize the vacancy. You can use a few free online services like Facebook, Craigslist, or the rental property listing websites like Zillow, Trulia, Apartments, or Realtor.com. These listing services may require paying a fee to list on their website, or you can also put a rental listing sign in front of your property so any drive-by or your neighbors can share it with their friends or family that are interested in living in the same neighborhood. These are just some of the ways that you can advertise your property so you can get your property rented. The second skill is to know who do a credit, criminal background checks. You will need to use a credit report company to pull your tenant's credit report and also to do a criminal background check and obtain a rental history on your applicants. The best way to find this company is to do a Google search or asking for a referral from other real estate investors in your area who can recommend a company to use. Never rent your property without a credit, criminal, income, and rental history checks thoroughly. Take time to screen your tenants. Well, you may get a few applicants for your rental. Take the necessary time to screen your tenants thoroughly because it's very important to place a good tenant who is not only responsible for the rental payments but also will take good care of your property as their own home. Make sure that they do not have any judgments on their credit report, unpaid balances, or collections. If you decide to rent to them, then have them explain well about these judgments and collections. Check on their credit score. Ideally, you would prefer a tenant with a minimum of 650 credit score or better. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, Please subscribe and click the notification bell so you will not miss my future videos. It helped me out a lot as well if you could share this video with your circle of friends and family. Thank you for doing that. For some investors, they are willing to go down the 620 credit score, but they require 2 months of security deposits. Sometimes tenants may recently go through the financial hardship and want and need a second chance. I have had tenants going through such situations and wanted a chance to fix their credit and clean up their medical and financial collection bills. Once you have gained experience on how to screen a new tenant well, you can start creating your own list of requirements of your ideal tenants. Before you have your own requirements, here is the checklist to select a great tenant for your cash flow property. Income is 3x of the rental payments. For example, if the monthly rent is $2,000, you want a tenant that has a monthly income of at least $6,000 per month. A minimum credit score is 650 or higher. If you accept anything below 650 credit score, then you need to understand why. And in that case, you may also want to consider requiring 2 months of the security deposits. You want also look for a good rental history for at least the last 24 months. Do they have a lot of outstanding debts payments? If so, how much per month total on their credit report? You need to factor these monthly debt payments on top of the rental payment to see their total monthly obligations. If their income is $6,000 per month and they have about $2,000 in the debt payments along with the rent payment of $2,000, then their total obligations is $4,000 per month. That means their monthly payment obligation is 66%. This considered risky, and you can anticipate your tenants may be late on their rental payments because of their large debt payments. In general, I like to see the total payment obligations, including rents and other debt payments, to be below 50% of their income. Check on collections on the credit report if there is any. Let tenants explain about each of them. Require 1 full month of security deposit and the last month rental payments as a way to know that tenants have reserves. Be sure to be informed of the landlord and tenants law in the state you have your rental property. If they have pets, then require a non-refundable pet deposit and a refundable pet deposit for cleaning when they move out. Again, your state law may stimulate the type of security deposit you may demand, so be informed with that information. The third skill is to build a strong service team. Investing in rental property will involve some maintenance duties. It will be very beneficial that you have built a Rolodex of great trade services company like AC company, heating company, electrical company, plumbing, and roofing company. You consider asking around to get some good names who can fix these items when it arises, and also have a good handyman who can fix some minor fixes that do not require a license in your state. You have to keep your tenants happy and stay at your property long by providing prompt services to keep up your property when there is something that is not working properly. It may take time to find these reliable trade services companies, but you must have them to keep your tenants and your property in a good standing conditions. The fourth skill is bookkeeping and tenant and landlord communication channels. Learn to organize your accounting records early by using some landlord accounting software tools like QuickBooks or simple things like Microsoft Spreadsheet to keep track of the monthly income and expenses so that you can generate income expenses reports that you can give to your accountant for the year and for tax filing. Also, using software tools to keep track of your communications with your tenants, whether it is by emails or by postal mails. Keep all records so that you can be organized and manage your property well from the start. The last skill is to keep up with the tenants, landlord law and regulations. You must be well informed of the state tenants and landlord laws and regulations to make sure you stand up to the code and the requirements. You may reach out to other real estate investors to learn from them or to read up the tenants landlord rules in your state to learn about your tenant rights and your rights as a landlord. You want to avoid all the possible future legal issues in advance by knowing the do's and the don'ts, as well as the can and the cannot. Following all the rules and regulations is a must because you want to avoid expensive legal fees. If you like the content so far, could you please smash the like button for me? That helped me out a lot. Thank you. I just finished sharing with you how to manage your property yourself. Let's continue to the next part. The second way is to have your property managed by a professional property managers. My favorite part. I have successfully used professional property managers to manage all my properties, starting from the very first rental property that I had invested back in California. Even when a property is within a reasonable drive distance from where I live, I still have all my properties managed by professional property managers. Having all my property managed by professional property managers so that I would have time to continue scaling my real estate portfolio. Having property managers allowed me to work on my business rather than working in my business. I operate my real estate investment like a business from day one. I prefer to leverage other people's skills and knowledge so I can focus my time on what I do well. Any fee that I have to pay is just a part of doing the business. I in turn have more time to focus my energy on investing in more great real estate projects. How I select a professional property managers. They have at least 5 years of property management experience in the same type of properties that I want them to manage for me. They have managed at least a few hundred properties in the past 5 years. They also have great review from tenants as well as from the real estate investors. They have a great team in place who can assist investors within 24 hours when I have questions regarding my properties. They have very strong tenant screening system in place. They have less than 5% evictions of their tenants across all properties under management. They provide clearly monthly owner financial statements, possibly with an online portal for their investor where I can go up and view anytime that I want. And of course, they need to have strong marketing skills to market my properties. Congratulations again! You just completed all the 5 steps into successfully buying your first cash flow rental property. When you master all these 5 steps and keep on learning, you do not just invest in one cash flow property, but many more properties in the future. It is really fun and rewarding journey. So keep learning and investing. If you enjoy these 5 steps so far and want to learn in depth, then you are welcome to register for this online class. I put the link in the show note or descriptions below. You can register for it if you want to learn more. Let me know about your experience managing your own properties or experience working with a professional property manager in the comment box below. I love to hear about it. Let's learn, invest, and make an impact. Ciao!